What's good, people? Arsenal beat Manchester City in the semi-final of the FA Cup. Booyah! 2-0. And a big shout out and congratulations to Ebony, Tony Cox, Tom Aston, because they predicted the score. But not only just Tom Aston, but he's the one that said that they would beat Liverpool and they would beat Manchester City in the same week. And I put a post up today and said, Arteta's the only person who's beaten Jurgen Klopp, Pep Guardiola, and the coronavirus. Yeah? Man beat all three of them this year. So big props to him. But listen, is it really worth doing the player ratings for these guys? Because they were all boss. I mean, apart from a few shaky moments from Mustafi, where he passed the ball to Sterling and was driving us crazy in the chat room. After the first 15 minutes, this team just switched. I mean, these guys were on. And it's because of Mikel Arteta's game plan. Whatever they saw in that Liverpool game, whatever they looked at in terms of the way how they trapped Liverpool. Remember, they had Lacazette pin the central midfielder holding role for Fabinho, and they just stapled him to the ground and didn't allow Liverpool to play the ball out from the back effectively. The pressure that we put on in terms of Reece Nelson, Aubameyang, well, no, not Aubameyang because he wasn't playing, Lacazette, and what they were doing with Torreira at Liverpool was forcing Liverpool into errors. So that was one game where Arteta looked at it and thought, started rubbing his beard. This might work. And obviously, I've been saying for a while, last few months, that not only does Arteta know what good looks like, but Arteta was part of the plan at Man City. So when you build roots, when you build a house, you know the structural weaknesses in that house. You know what works and what doesn't work. And what he did to Man City yesterday was what I expected him to do previously. Of course, I stated that he started he started a lot of young players after lockdown when we lost 3-0. And a lot of players like David Louise wasn't fit. David Louise was only 70% and he was still forced to play. He had a horrible game and he just wasn't up to fitness. Yesterday, Mustafi turned it on and David Luiz was my man of the match. He was boss. He had 11 clearances. Let me say that again just so that you understand. 11 clearances. 4 blocked shots. That's the kind of stuff, guys, that winners are made of. This guy's won everything in the game. And yesterday, he took the game by the scruff of the neck and literally blocked out. I mean, any one of those clearances could have produced opportunities for Man City. If you look at so here's the tactics. So again, Arsenal pressed City's back four. They pressed them hard and forced them not only to not go through the middle, but they forced them out wide. Now, when you force a team out wide, there's only one way to attack, right? And that's to cross the ball into the box. But Man City are slightly different. Arteta knows that they like to cut the ball back. So not hit the ball across the 6-yard line, but hit it back to the penalty spot or the edge of the box. And he had Xhaka sitting there and Ceballos waiting in line for when that ball was cut back. So it was almost as if Man City were nullified. I hear people and pundits talk about, Man City didn't play well. No, bro. We made them not play well. Give respect where it's due. Truck here. Sorry about that, guys. I'm on holiday in Cornwall at the moment. But isn't it funny that when champions never play well and they lose, it's always because they never played well. It's never because the other team has nullified them. And what you saw was a masterclass from Mikel Arteta, who completely nullified Pep Guardiola. Yeah? The apprentice just slayed the master. I wish I had my lightsaber right now because that woo 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 sound would have just been really nice to add on top of that, where Arteta just fundamentally destroyed Pep Guardiola, and Pep had no B plan. He had no plan B because the team, Man City, was forced into playing an angles game on the flanks by Arsenal. That's how nice it was. So Martinez, look, don't talk about Martinez already. He should be Arsenal's number one. There's nothing against Leno. It's just for the fact that this guy is ultra confident, ultra good with his distribution, makes as good as saves as Leno, but most importantly, he doesn't make mistakes. And remember in the game against Liverpool where he kicked the ball out and it was intercepted and the ball hit the post? Well, look, yeah, that was an error, but it wasn't an error that cost to goals. We know Leno's made 9 of them, yeah, since he's joined Arsenal. Led in 2018-19 season, led the league in goals, in errors leading to goals, which was 6. So we know about Leno. You don't have to talk to us about Bert Leno, we know. So all of you lot defending him, you got nothing to defend because the man's error prone. This year, brother, now, Martinez, don't make no mistakes. And when you've got a team, and I keep telling you lot, I'm bashing you lot over the head with this every week on the panel when we do our live shows. You cannot be successful, win titles, win championships with players that make errors. The best teams in the world, guys, don't make errors. The best goalkeepers in the world. And look, every goalkeeper makes an error. The difference between a world-class goalkeeper and an average goalkeeper is the amount of errors that you make. And when you have a brother that just is not costing you games, you staple him as your number one. It's as simple as that. But back on to David Luiz. 8 clearances and 4 block shots. Man was playing like he was in the World Cup final. And look, all that man, like Mustafi, 8 clearances as well. You got a shout out to Mustafi as well. Xhaka as well, fantastic. The interceptions and the duels won by him and Ceballos, right where I said, on that penalty spot on the edge of the penalty area where they forced Man City to cut the ball back, was just jubilant to see. Now, Ceballos had the most tackles won, duels won in the game with 6. And he was just absolutely ultra dominant. I know they're in talks to try and keep this guy back, but whatever you need to do to make it happen, do it. Whatever monies you need to give Arteta to make this team work, do it. Now, listen, you guys know I'm a humble guy. When I get shit wrong, I turn up and I talk about it. So I'm going to talk about it. On the panel over the last few weeks, you've heard me say, how many goals is Aubameyang going to get against Liverpool and City? This man here can't turn up for no big games. Can't do it in the big games. Well, he proved me wrong, didn't he? Man turned up with 2 quality goals, and I want to talk about the goals. The first one, the way it was set up in the midfield by Tierney and the way it was set up by Bellerin, and have Pepe. Listen, Pepe will take you on. He'll slide it with the right foot if he needs to on the baseline, or he'll cut back in on his left foot, which he loves to do. The fact that you don't know what he's going to do, it's like in basketball. If a guy can go inside, if he can kill you on the Euro step and the outside, if he can go baseline and hit an 18-foot jumper, you pretty much can't guard the guy because he can drive at you, he can back off and hit an 18-foot jumper. As a defender, you seriously don't know where to go. Well, Pepe has the innings game, and where Pepe has struggled is he's just fallen in and out of games because he's not got himself involved. We've seen that happen in the previous 2 games where Pepe's head's just not been in the game. Yesterday, Pepe was immense. Not only was the assist pinpoint, the man floated the ball over 3 defenders right where he knew Aubameyang was going to be running in on it to finish with a lovely right foot finish. Goalkeeper had no chance. Bottom right corner, brilliant, 1-0 Arsenal, fantastic goal. But it was the second goal that was pivotal because Pepe's hold-up play allowed the midfield to try to hold the line and their attackers to come forward to help assist and help give him help. And all this time, guys, while you're looking at all of this, we're not mentioning one name. But before that, let me just finish off with the second goal. So Pepe holds the ball up, slips it back to Tierney, and Tierney already sees the run. And how many times do we have a go at Arsenal players, especially in the midfield, who don't spot the run? Yeah, they don't spot that run behind the defenders, behind the back line, where we can use our speed and our pace to beat the offside trap. Tierney sees it, and then bang, it's gone. Ball's gone. And my man Aubameyang is off to the races, and it's 1-on-1, and you can put your house on it. Even though the man messed up in the first 10 minutes, he certainly made dues, yeah? Man redeemed himself twice. So I love all of that. But let's talk about the guy whose name nobody's mentioning. Alexandre Lacazette. Now, against Liverpool, I stated that he cut back in the defence and he was trapping the ball coming out of the backfield. And for those of you who are aware, that means when you're playing out from the back, there's an anchor pivot man who stands in the midfield. Liverpool was Fabinho, and they had Fernandinho as well in Man City. And he was stuck to him like glue. So Liverpool, as well as Man City, had nowhere to go. Now, Man City last night had to play the ball through the flanks because the middle was clogged up, and all of that work goes unseen. And that's why we're talking about it right now, because Lacazette is the man that makes that happen. Nobody else. He got some good support from Bellerin. And look, even with that being said, even when Tierney was darting forward, Xhaka went back to slip into that left back position, that left central midfield position, to help out the defence. It was a team effort, guys. A total team effort. And I absolutely love what they've done with this. And I think it's amazing. And guys, listen, I said last week, I said that I believe that Arteta can take this team into the top 4 next season. And the reason why I said that was based on the statistics we looked at 2 weeks ago on the panel that showed this year Arsenal had the second most points in the league. Yeah? Second behind the championship team, Liverpool. Second. So I'm going to leave you with that thought, just like I did on the live podcast, where this is what Arteta can do when you don't give him tools. So if you give him the right tools and you give him the money to spend, what's he going to be able to achieve? Right now, the board have no option but to back this manager. Back the man. And he will bring your team back to the glory days. So that's where it is, guys. That's my review of the game. I'm not going to do a live podcast tonight because my internet connection here is shit. It is so bad. If I was even going to attempt to go on tonight, it would just mess up left, right, and centre. It would be bang awful. So I'm not even going to put you guys through that punishment. So listen, I'll try and catch up with you guys when I can and just hold it down, and let's look forward to the next one. The final now on the 1st of August. We're probably going to do a live game commentary for that as well, because yesterday worked so well. I want to big up my boys, La African Guna and Bertram, who held the fort while I couldn't get into the damn room. And believe me, I was fighting for an hour to get into the room and it just wasn't working. But listen, big up to those two guys. Really carried the boat for us yesterday. And well done to all you Gooners who thought that we could win this game and turn it over. Pep Guardiola is truly humbled. And I just want to say one more last thing, guys. It's a testament to all those Man City players, and I'm going to name them again: David Villa, Mendy, Sterling, Kevin De Bruyne, and Leroy Sané, who came out and said that the person who helped them develop the most was Mikel Arteta, not Pep Guardiola. And right now, you have to look at what's happened to Manchester City since Arteta has left. They've lost 9 games. 9 games. They've only had 5 games where they failed to score in their last 55, 56 games. So what Arsenal did yesterday was astonishing. But Mikel Arteta, guys, is the brain power behind all of this. Back your manager. If there's any of you out there that are still doubting this brother here, back your manager. Back the team. And I done tell you a lot about David Luiz already. All I hear from you lot about Luiz is moan, 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 moan. When the man in that position under Conte won a league title, yeah? The man in that position won a treble with PSG. The man in that position won a World Cup with Brazil. Won a Champions League with... Look, you guys, man. You guys, listen, I'll say it again. The difference between being world-class and being average is the amount of mistakes that you make, especially as a goalkeeper. And when you play flawlessly like that and everybody sings to the same hymn sheet, it's beautiful to watch. So I'll speak to you guys later, man. Peace out, right back at you. And I hope you guys enjoy this week, man. Nice one.